In the newest Bubblegum Simulator Infinity update, there's multiple eggs which are like pretty good to hatch. So you got yourself number 1 with the 200 million egg, because this is a new egg with the Wolf Lord in it, which is a secret, which is 1 in 100 million. It's also got this corrupt glitch pet, and these pets too. However, secrets are the main things that you'd hatch an egg for, I feel. It's got the Wolf Lord, 1 in 100 million, and a lot of people are hatching this egg. Number 2 would be whatever the bounty egg is on, and currently the bounty egg is on the Underworld egg, which isn't ideal because that is one of the other eggs. However, this will change, and maybe it's worth to hatch whatever the bounty egg is on. Number 3 is the Infinity Egg, because the Infinity Egg will hatch the 200 million egg, and it will also hatch the bounty egg, apart from right now, because the bounty egg is currently the Underworld egg. Right, there's one right here. I don't have that many golden dice, so hopefully we roll 1 or 2. Oh my god, perfect. We can actually land on it here. We're probably not going to get the Underworld Rift, but it's worth trying just for this video. If we get it, that'd be insane, because I've never actually got it from the wheel before. And yeah, it doesn't look like we're going to get it, unfortunately. Okay, sure. But yeah, you've also got the Underworld Egg, which has the Lord Shock in it, and currently also has the Bounty Pet in, but that won't be counted in my ranking, because this video is meant to be a long-term video, or a longer-term video, not just today when the bounty's in the Underworld Egg. But I will address that as well, and I will count that into the ranking currently. However, I won't be counting that into the full ranking. So, okay, let's start. And I'm going to start with the worst egg to hatch in my opinion. This may be controversial, however, this is in my opinion the worst egg to hatch for value. And by this I mean, it doesn't mean it's the worst egg to hatch full stop. I mean it's the worst egg to hatch if you want value, because obviously the Infinity Egg is in last place, but the Infinity Egg could hatch yourself an Overlord or a King Doggy as well. So if you want to hatch just a secret, the Infinity Egg is pretty good, because you can also hatch the Wolf Lord, you can also hatch the Bounty Egg. It's pretty good. However, if you want value, you're going to want to be hatching either the Bounty or the new Wolf Lord and then flip it quick for value, or you want to be hatching... By the way, speaking of that, there's already 1,300 Wolf Lords. But yeah, if you hatch it now and flip it for value, it's pretty good. Infinity Egg though, you could hatch yourself an Overlord, which would be kind of bad and not worth it. Oh, by the way, I forgot to mention, there's a secret 4th egg, which is also in this ranking. And that 4th egg, in my opinion, is in this placement. I think it's better than the Infinity Egg, but I think it is worse than any of the other eggs. And that is the Game Egg. Now, why is the Game Egg higher than the Infinity Egg? It may be a crazy, kind of weird question here. But that's because the Jackpot is leaving soon. Well, the Game Egg will be leaving. This is a limited pet. This egg rotates out for different eggs, so the Jackpot will be limited, and the Jackpot's pretty rare. So if you want to get yourself a Jackpot, it's worth right now. However, I do think it's better than the Infinity Egg. That may be controversial, but I think it is worse than the other eggs that are coming up. So let's get to the next egg. And unfortunately here, I'm going to have to put the Underworld Egg out of necessity, because the Underworld Egg is the best egg to hatch probably for value, right? If you hatch the Lord Shock, it's insane, and currently the Underworld Egg is realistically the best, because it's got, not only has it got the super rare secret, but it's also got a common secret. But also spawning an Underworld Egg is not easy and not something you can do consistently, so that's why I'm putting it here, not because it's bad to hatch, but because it is not reliable to hatch. I reckon you can hatch more secrets if you're just hatching the 200 million egg or the bounty egg over just trying to get the Underworld Egg and hatching it when you can. What I'm basically saying is if you spend all your time trying to spawn an Underworld Egg and hatching it, I don't think you're going to hatch anything unless you get really lucky, of course. But if you do get really lucky, that Lord Shock is insanely valuable, especially if you get a mythic one or a shiny mythic Lord Shock. You've basically won. And it's also limited as well, I believe. I'm pretty sure it has the limited tag over the pets. Yeah, it does. The Demon Web does. So I assume it is just limited eggs. So basically, the Lord Shock is going to be very, 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 very valuable. Right, and now we're on to our top 2 contenders. We've got the Bounty pet, and we've also got the 200 million egg. Now, for me, personally, the 200 million egg is better. However, this is a pretty, for a normal player, this is pretty interesting. Because the reason why this egg's better for me is because it's better content, because I can make a I hatch blank eggs video. However, the bounty egg, depending on what it is, can be pretty good. Currently, it's 1 in 50 million. We'll ignore the egg it's on because obviously it's underworld egg, which is kind of unfair for this ranking, but we'll just assume it's on any other egg because it will rotate to different eggs. So it's a 1 in 50 million for this pet to be hatched. This is the most common bounty pet. The next most common bounty pet is the queen kitty, which by the way I showcased, and the queen kitty is a 1 in 80 million, I believe, and then the rarest bounty pet is the prophet at 1 in 200 million. And it's really hard to choose a winner between these two because the bounty is interesting. If it's on, for example, an egg like the nightmare egg, that's good. You can get yourself an overlord, or you can get yourself the bounty. If it's on an egg like this showman egg here, you're only gonna get the bounty. Like it's a bit divisive. However, I am going to be putting this 200 million egg in number 2, and the reason why is if we're going off value, this egg is simply, there's going to be a lot of wolf lords. A lot of people are going to be hatching 200 million egg. Think of the trophy. A lot of people hatch that egg. Obviously, the wolf lord's rarer, but the wolf lord's not going to be that valuable. And I don't think the bounty pets are going to be that valuable either, but the prophet might be. And also, I feel like these pets are going to be hatched less than the wolf lord. I mean, I say that, but the doggy has already been hatched more than wolf lord, but that's just because it's a 1 in 50 million, and it's also from this rift, which can only spawn as 5 times, 10 times, or 25 times. But for example, the queen kitty, which was only in rotation for like a couple hours, there's only 194 of them. But who knows, my opinion could be completely off, but I think a lot of wolf lords are going to be hatched, and not as many of these, but these are technically tied in first place. I can't choose a winner between these two. Let me know in the comments if you guys prefer the bounty, or if you guys prefer this egg here. So let's go over the general pros and cons of each egg real quick. The pros of this egg is that it's probably pretty good stats compared to like hatching for the bounty egg, because the bounty egg you could be hatching like an overworld egg here, which is terrible. The cons to this egg though is that the wolf lord's pretty rare for 1 in 100 million, and 2, like realistically the wolf lord's not going to have much value. The pros and cons of hatching the bounty egg. The pros are, I think it has more value, and also you could hatch another secret in the meantime. I mean, right now you could hatch a Lord Shock while trying to go for the underworld egg. However, obviously this is going to change. But the cons of this is, 1, it changes. So, like, let's say this has 3 hours left. You can't really start AFKing an egg, you know? And also, the queen kitty rotated out really fast for no reason, even though it said it had, like, a day left. The pros of Infinity Egg is you can get any secret in the game, apart from, obviously, Mech Robot if you're hatching an overworld. But I assume you can also find yourself the bounty pet if it's in a egg which is in the bounty, or in the overworld, or in the minigame paradise, wherever you're hatching. Pros and cons of the game egg. Pros of the game egg is that it's gonna be limited. Jackpot might have some value. Cons is still jackpot's not gonna have that much value. It's only a 1 in 20 million. It's more common than secrets, and it's probably hatched quite a bit. However, then again, it is limited, so it's probably better than a lot of other things which are in the game right now, which, like, for example, the Mech Robot. I reckon Jackpot's gonna have more value than the Mech Robot, because Mech Robot's hatched a lot, and it's, like, forever. It's gonna be there forever. Once Jackpot leaves, Jackpot might become better. And finally, the Underworld Egg. The pros of the Underworld Egg is you can hatch some really, really, really rare pets. The cons of it is that, obviously, it's pretty hard to spawn, and also is really rare to hatch a Lord Shock. So all in all, I reckon you hatch the Underworld Egg when it spawns, the 200 million egg, or the Bounty Egg, depending on where it is, because they're both really good. Personally, I'm going to be hatching the 200 million egg, if that helps your decision, because soon I'll make I hatched 200,000 of these eggs. Maybe I've hatched a secret. I haven't shown anything in this video. Maybe I have hatched a secret. Anyway, that's where I'm going to end this video. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.